Hey, what's up? So, my church gave all of its members a challenge to go ahead and post their personal testimony of how they got saved. So, this is mine. I grew up in a Christian church, and every time the doors were open, my dad would take my family to church, and I grew up hearing the gospel. But around the age of 7, I just started having a lot of doubts about everything that I was hearing. But at the same time, I was really scared of hell. And I thought, if I died, and if it were real, then I would go to hell. And so I decided to, say the prayer, get it over with. That way, I'm good. If I die, go to heaven, and everything's going to be great. And so I just kind of kept on with that, just telling everybody, of course I'm saved. Yeah, I'm saved. I got saved at 7. And then at 9, I was like, okay, did I really get saved? And I knew deep down, I hadn't really cared about God or anything. And it was just kind of just for the sake, I said the prayer just for the sake of saying it. And so I decided, okay, well, now that I actually believe that Jesus died on the cross for my sins, and I believe in the gospel and everything, I need to get saved for real. And honestly, I really genuinely believe that I got saved at that point. But there was no change at all in my life. And I know I was young. I was around 9 at that time, but still I didn't care about God. There was no desire for me to spend time with him or anything. There was no change in my heart or my life. Then I started cheating in school, and just getting into different habits, like lying and just things that caused me to lose the trust of my parents. And I remember my mom, she caught me several times, and, it was really hard for her having to deal with me, someone who she couldn't trust, who she was homeschooling, and I would always cheat and not do my work, and I was just a huge handful. And I remember at one point, I was like, I'm so tired of this. I don't want to hurt my mom. I didn't want to be not trusted. But it was just such a part of my life at that point where it was just like a habit. It's just what I did. I would just cheat, and I felt like that's who I was, it was just part of me. And I ended up going to a Russian conference with my mom when I was around 11 years old. And the preacher, he preached a message, gospel message. And I don't actually remember what exactly he said. It wasn't anything he said that touched my heart. But at the end of the service, he gave an invitation. And so many people just were going down the aisles and just coming forward to receive Christ. And at that moment, I don't know what it was just different. I felt the Spirit of God there, the presence of God. And I was tired of I was young, but sin, without Jesus, life is hopeless. And I was tired of living the way that I was living. And so I felt like God was calling me at that point to let go of my sin, to let him change me. And I did. At that point, I accepted Jesus as my Savior. And I never, the funny thing is I never doubted my salvation. Of course, I wasn't perfect, so I was still a kid. And I don't feel like there was a lot of growth initially, but there was, like, I did feel something at that moment where, like, I was changed. And slowly, as I started actually reading the Bible and praying and surrendering different areas of my life to God, that's when he started changing me. And of course, it's continually a growth process. I'm not perfect. I have so many, weaknesses that I have to deal with, and I mess up all the time. But, like, God has changed me. And when life gets messy, when life gets hard, like, I always can go to God and know that he'll be there. And he can give me peace and joy, even when I don't deserve it. And it's all because of what Jesus did on the cross for me. It's not because of something that I did. And I just wanted to share that with you all. Like, if you don't know Jesus, you can have that joy and peace. And not only can you have that joy and peace, but God can change you and give you a new life. And you don't have to be afraid of the coronavirus or anything else that is going on. It's so amazing to see how God has worked in my life over and over again, how he has just shown himself to be real, to how much he cares about each detail of my life. He has guided me every step of the way since then. And he always, in his timing, makes his will clear. And I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that if you don't know Jesus, that you will definitely take time to think about that and accept him, to, like, allow him to change your life as he changed mine. So yeah.